It's the end of another peaceful day in Taru, a small village situated 25 kilometers away from Leh town in Ladakh, the northernmost part of India. With 72 households and a population of a little over 500 inhabitants, Taru's primarily farming community has been long accustomed to a peaceful life. And yet, there are times when the simple villagers of this quiet village just cannot help but remember that fateful night of August 2010, when a massive cloudburst unleashed merciless havoc on them whilst deep in their sleep. Within minutes, raging torrents of water, mudslides and free-falling debris swept away homes, crops and all natural as well as man-made structures that dared stand in the way of nature's fury. A devastation of such scale had never before been witnessed at Ladakh in living memory. No sooner did IDBI Bank realize the full magnitude of the calamity, it resolved to play a proactive role in the rehabilitation of Taru Village as part of its CSR initiative. Because whether it is to do with participating in nation building or responding to disasters that impact the common man, IDBI has consistently demonstrated the will to rise to the occasion.
The unprecedented flash floods of August 2010 in Ladakh caused substantial economic loss to the people of Leh in general and villagers of Taru in particular. Critical economic infrastructure such as canals, footbridges, motorable bridges were either washed away or buried under debris, further compounding the villagers' misery. With a clear goal of transforming the lives of people of Taru Village, IDBI Bank joined hands with the Tata Institute of Social Sciences and Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council to rebuild Taru as a model village as well as to promote the overall development of Ladakh region.
The bank soon realized it would need the expertise of seasoned players in the field of relief and rehabilitation, and the presence of a local body well acquainted with the situation on the ground.
When we looked around, we found that Tata Institute of Social Sciences, they had been doing good work in that area, and they had done it in collaboration with the local administration and the Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council.
IDBI was clear from day one that why it is important to demonstrate a model village, and they had an idea. The idea being that can we develop a village as a model village for rehabilitation, where not only improve the physical conditions of clearing the land of boulders and making agriculture possible, but also to create housing of a durable kind.
The objective of this unique partnership was to rebuild Taru as a model village through a set of predetermined program activities, and also contribute towards the overall development of Ladakh region through capacity building of local development actors, strengthening and promotion of community-based organizations, self-help groups and cooperatives. A model that would, on successful completion, set an example for similar reconstruction initiatives in the future. After much deliberation, it was agreed that the right approach would be to devolve the reconstruction task to the village communities and empower them to plan and execute their own rehabilitation.
The great part about this, which I thought was really something wonderful, was the involvement of the panchayat, was the involvement of the gram sabhas. The sarpanch with whom I have had a lot of occasion to move around, I was really taken in by the interest he showed, by his ability to actually tell me how many bags of cement had actually gone into that work till that point of time. So it occurred to me that the involvement of the local people was something that had fused in with the efforts that they were doing, and that's really heartening.
IDBI एक ऐसा बैंक है जिन्होंने एक ठोस कदम लेके सही मायनों में डेवलप करने के लिए पैसा दिया है। यहाँ पे कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग के लिए उन्होंने बहुत खर्चा किया है। एक्सपोजर ट्रूप ले गए हैं जिसमें हमारे जो ग्रास रूट लीडरशिप है, जैसे पंचायत मेंबर्स है, उनको हिंदुस्तान की दूसरी जगह ले जाके उनको एजुकेट किया है। ये चीज़ें वाकई लद्दाख के ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट में बहुत ही फ़ायदा हुआ।
IDBI बैंक की तरफ से जो टीज़ की तरफ से जो ये अभी लद्दाख ऑटोमेटिक डेवलपमेंट तीनों मिलाकर हम तारू वालों को जो पैसा रिलीज़ किया है, गाँव वाले तो बहुत खुश है।
I must admire that all the villages very sincerely they have done it in the lowest cost. If this kind of work is to be done through any other mechanism, I am sure the cost would have been much more.
Several capacity building workshops were conducted for the sarpanches of the Ladakh region to strengthen community mechanisms and consolidate learnings of panchayat leaders on various themes of development and governance concerning Panchayati Raj institutions. Workshops of various women's self-help groups were also undertaken, and a database of women's SAGs in Leh district developed to help evolve effective strategies for their development. Some of the key activities undertaken were reconstruction of irrigation canals. The flash floods of 2010 had caused massive damage to infrastructure crucial to economic activity. With farming constituting the primary occupation of Taru villagers, their livelihood loss was substantial, with over 70% of irrigation canals being destroyed and standing crops, tree plantations, as well as agricultural land and village infrastructure being washed away. With the immediate objective of repairing the social damage caused to all households in the village, the reconstruction work of canals was taken up on a priority basis and completed within the first year itself. Restoration of drinking water tank. The damage to Taru's drinking water storage tank was so severe that it had been rendered unworthy of use, leading to villagers being deprived of their only source of clean drinking water. The revival of the drinking water storage system was therefore an equally urgent project priority and included the installation of new reinforced concrete slabs, removal of mud and debris from inside the broken tank, and repair of damaged walls. The water storage tank constructed under the project has ensured easy access to potable water for the village. Construction of water reservoir. In order to make judicious use of the water flowing down the stream that runs across Taru village, it was necessary to construct a reservoir so as to meet the long-term irrigation needs of Taru's farmers. Executed by an experienced civil engineer with the help of a team of local villagers, the work was supervised by the village sarpanch and a few selected representatives. The dimensions of the reservoir were limited on account of the site's topography, and so the project engineer used innovative designs and worked on an improvement in the overall structure of the water reservoir and irrigation canals. Optimal usage of water has led to a rise in the agricultural income in the village. Building new link roads and motorable bridges. The intensity of the flash flood was of such severe magnitude that the valley eroded up to 6 meters deep and 10 meters wide, rendering it almost impossible for the villagers to cross the divide on foot. There was an urgent need for link roads to be built to make commuting easier for the locals. 2 new link roads and motorable bridges were constructed on both sides of the stream with minimal damage to the environment. These were designed by a government civil engineer in accordance with the standards of structural designs and civil engineering. Local engineering skill and experience were also utilized during the construction process. Common Facility Center for Women. A need analysis conducted during the project conceptualization stage had determined that a common facility center be built for local women in the village. The center is a single-storied building constructed in the middle of the village and uses a passive solar heating design that collects, stores and distributes solar energy in the form of heat in the winter and rejects solar heat in the summer. The building will also be used for conducting trainings and seminars on women-centric issues such as health, maternity and livelihood.
We will certainly try to, see that these calamities are not actually putting them again in difficulties, and side by side we will also create some forward-looking livelihood facilities for them.
With the successful completion of the post-flash flood disaster reconstruction project of Taru Village, IDBI Bank can take a step back and pause with a measure of pride and a great degree of satisfaction.
On the successful completion of the Taru Village rehabilitation project, it gives me great pride to see the exceptional outcome of IDBI Bank's efforts that has helped the spirited people of Taru Village to stand on their feet again. In my capacity as the MD and CEO of IDBI Bank, it is my privilege and pleasure to be associated with such a noble cause.